I've got the speech here, but I'd like to put it down and try to come from my heart. And as a little boy and watching Red Skelton do this wonderful show, at the time I didn't know that I was to become a performer. And to many of us in the business, young comics like myself, we do believe that there's one man, one master of the art to study and emulate and admire, and that is Red Skelton. For your remarkable career spanning 7 decades of making people happy with your humor, your generous heart and your timeless spirit of fun, demonstrated in every medium and for every type of audience, we are proud to induct Red Skelton, one of America's clowns, as a charter member of the Comedy Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Red.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Mr. Red Skelton.
Thank you. Well, you can't top that. Good night.
Look at all these Catholics down in front here. I got a joke for you. Van Larity, who was the Vicar General at the Vatican, went into the Pope. He said, I have good news and bad news for you. He says, what's the good news? He says, Jesus is back. And you talk to him on the phone. He says, what's the bad news? They called from Salt Lake City. I have a request to do a friend of ours, or to mine anyhow. Yeah. Well, sir, since I saw you last when I was on television, I got married. Had a military wedding. You know, there were guns there, let's put it that way. I met my wife through her wife's brother. He said to me, would you like to meet one of my sisters? I said, you've got sisters? He said, I've got 2. One's name's Hortense, the other's name's Lassie. I said, Lassie's a dog. He said, wait till you see Hortense.
At 80 years old, he still tours the country doing over 100 concerts a year. And, as usual that night, Red clowned around, told jokes, and demonstrated the philosophy by which he lives his life.
I personally believe that each and every one of us was put here for a purpose, and that's to build and not to destroy. And if by chance someday you're not feeling well, you should remember some silly little thing that I've said or done tonight or before now, and it brings back a smile to your face or a chuckle to your heart, then my purpose has been fulfilled. The time has come to say goodnight. My how time does fly. We've had a laugh, perhaps a tear, and now we hear goodbye. I really hate to say goodnight, for times like these are few. I wish you love and happiness in everything you do. The time has come to say goodnight, and I hope I've made a friend, so we'll say, may God bless, until we meet again. Good night, and may God bless. Thank you.
When we come back, we'll look into the wild and wonderful world of Jonathan Winters. The first annual Comedy Hall of Fame will continue in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, the star of the TV series, Danny Dearest, known to all as the Prince of Fame, Richard Lewis.
Thank you. Wow, it's an extreme pleasure to be here tonight to honor one of the, to me, greatest comedians who ever lived, who has brightened our lives and my life. I'm proud to be a part of this noble profession, and although knowing full well that unfortunately I generally suffer from bouts of depression and an overall feeling of hopelessness, but yet I have reached the point in my career where I am asked to introduce someone in my field who is considered a giant amongst giants. Ladies and gentlemen, Willie Mays. Just kidding, it's a joke. You know, they say that comics are very sad, down deep. I don't know about that. Maybe it's true, but with all due respect, I got most of my low self-esteem from my family. I swear to God, really true. I mean, my grandfather, for openness, he used to fall asleep like this. No kidding. Oh, I'm a failure, I'm a loser, I'm no winner. You know. But he was, you know, maybe depressed, but he was very talented. He was a juggler in the Russian Yiddish circus, and his big finish at the end of his act, I swear to God, he used to worry about 6 things at once, which was a big thing. Oh, no, please. Oh, that's very nice. And my grandmother, whoa! I mean, this was a piece of work. I mean, she used to collect antique dolls with angina, which was a sad thing. And for my birthday, she used to buy me, you know, scene of the accident coloring books, which was a big thing. And her hobby, she used to sit in a rocking chair and knit her will, which I thought. Enough about me, because I'm here for one guy. This is a guy who changed my life. It's the man. It's Johnny Winters. God, I love you, man. You're the greatest. And now, before we discuss the genius, I'd like to bring up the tremendously talented actress, Ms. Pam Dorber. Please.
Still in my early 20s when I first encountered that wild, wacky, wonderful lunatic in Monogram Jammies, Jonathan Winters. Now, one would have thought that having worked on Mork and Mindy with Robin Williams for 2 eye-opening and fly-opening years, I would have been prepared for the birth of our full-grown son, Jonathan Winters. Now, Jonathan joined us in our 3rd year, and now for Robin, this was like being in the lineup with Babe Ruth. For me, it was sort of like being the bat boy, kind of tossing out those straight lines and then ducking while they blasted him out of the ballpark. Being allowed to witness the inspired madness, the unimaginable imagination, and the mooning made life on Mork and Mindy for me like going to the set with all my lines memorized to find out everyone else is speaking Chinese. However, I loved Chinese, and I loved the experience. It's one I will never forget. And Jonathan, I want to say to you tonight that all the training I got and all the lessons I learned from working with you will serve me no earthly purpose in show business or in life. Because I probably will never be allowed to work with someone who has the wellspring of comedic genius like you. And if I do ever have the chance to work with you again, I'm sure you'll do it all different, but you'll continue to amaze, delight, and surprise because that's what you do. And so congratulations on this great honor, my son. And let me say to you, as your mother, the neighbors were wrong. You turned out great.
Thank you, Pam. Now let's take a look at why Jonathan Winters is truly, well, one of a kind.
I'm the voice of spring.
My name is Lakatika Tuka Nanatankawa Naikiwa. You know what that means? No. Bird with 1 foot and bad claw.
ah.